Hi, I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my channel. Please hit the subscribe button and the little bell. Today's video is a get ready with me video, so I'm going to show you my personal makeup process. So just a little bit about me. My lifestyle is pretty eclectic. I work from home with my health coaching business, mostly online e-commerce. I also work for my husband's photography studio where I work with my husband and my son. I'm also a photographer. And so I could find my day being many different things. So I want to dress as casually as possible so I can go through many different things that I might be doing. I could be in 1 minute meeting a client and the next minute tromping in the woods taking a picture. So I like to be comfortable and I like to be casual, but I also like to be finished and polished. So I do wear makeup whenever I leave the house, which makes this an uncomfortable video for me to make because I never show my bare face. It's kind of I just don't. So here I am showing the whole world, no makeup on. You'll see that in just a moment. But I also wanted to tell you, for my photography studio, I also do a lot of makeovers for our clients. And so I kind of know a little bit about what I'm looking for in the finished product for a photo. I like things to be super matte, super natural, super soft. Yet I still like to have a little bit of glam too. So all of that is what I'm after. And I pretty much do the same thing on my clients that I do on myself. I'm my own guinea pig. So let's get started, shall we? Here it is, all natural, no makeup whatsoever. No foundation, nothing, just skincare. What I've done is I've cleansed my face, toner, a little bit of youth serum, some eye cream, and day cream. So a daytime moisturizer that has SPF in it. What I like to do is do my hair last. So what I'm just going to do is put my hair up in a scrunchie, not a scrunchie, a hair tie. I'm going to put my hair up in a hair tie. Get it out of my way, and all for those little hairs that I don't want to get makeup in and just messy, I use a headband. Hi, Buster. My buddy. Now he has to come say hi because I talked to him. Okay, so there it is, ready to work, my palette. I like primers. I'm a Bare Minerals user, so I like the Bare Minerals primer, but when I ran out, I had a tester tube of this, Estee Lauder Illuminator Primer and Finisher. Primer's primer, it's working great, so I'm using it up. When I reorder, I think I will go back to Bare Minerals. I just like it, it's simple. So I don't need a lot. Probably the size of a chocolate chip. And I like to start in the center and then work my way out. Primed, ready to go. This is an eyelid primer, so it's going to go under the shadow. Prime Time Eyelid Primer. Bare Minerals. You just need a little bit of this, and it wants to come out fast, and it just did it. Came out super fast. So just take a little bit of that on your ring finger. Again, just a touch. And why ring finger? Pretty much whatever I rub around my eyes, be it on the eyelid or underneath, I use my ring finger because I understand that the ring finger is the weakest finger. And so it's, well, I don't know, it seems like the pinky would be the weakest finger, but eyelids primed, ready to go. So my next step is one of my favorite products. I've talked about this before. It's called Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream, and I feel like it's like a moisturizer, but it's tinted, so it just creates a really nice base. So take a look at this and watch after I put this on. That's about the size of a green pea. Again, I start down the center and work my way out. You could use a brush or a sponge for that. I just like putting it on with my fingers. It just works for me. Okay, the next step, I like to let that just dry a little bit and kind of just feel it, make sure it's dry. You know, there is no right or wrong way to do makeup. Seriously, it's really just your personal preference. So I'm just showing you my personal preferences. I like an all-natural look, but I definitely also like coverage. So I'm probably in between covered, made up, and natural. I'm kind of in between those two. I like to have a smooth texture. Okay, I think I've let it dry. I've chatted enough. Next step is the Bare Minerals Fairly Light Powder Foundation. I used to just wear this alone without this, and oh my gosh, what a difference with this. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and I'm going to tap, tap, tap it into this cap. Have you seen the way Bare Minerals works? You can tell a Bare Minerals person just by the tapping. So I'm going to put a little in the cap, tap, tap, tap. Tap again. That just gets it down into the brush, and then I'm going to start buffing, and I am barely touching the surface of my skin, lightly, lightly. But you want to keep moving, because the movement is just really helps those mineral powders smooth into the skin. All buffed. My next step is the Bare Minerals Warmth, and I use this year round, more in the summer and less in the winter, but it always gives you a sun-kissed glow, and just kind of make sure makeup keep from being flat, and it gives it a little definition. Now it has its own brush. This brush is the Warmth brush, and I've had this so long that the the name has come off. Angled Face. It came in the kit when I purchased my first kit, so I've had this for years. Again, I tap, tap, tap into the lid. There's a tiny, tiny bit in there, and the less is more on this. You just want to start with the littlest bit, tap your brush, and then I put this where I imagine the sun would hit. So it's going to hit down my nose, a little on my cheekbones, and a little bit right here. So I don't do the contouring with this. I just kind of give myself a sun-kissed glow. So kind of start right up here a little bit, down the, barely touching, light, light, light strokes. You don't want to have too much of this. And I like to put a lot right here because I have a double chin. And dark colors, this is a theory of painting, it's a theory in light, it's a theory in photography, and it's a theory in makeup. Light colors push things forward, and dark colors push things back. So if you want something to recede, like a double chin, dark color. Of course, if you put too much, you look like you have a dirty neck. So just enough to kind of create that shadow right there. Okay, so the shadow's created, let that go. That's Warmth. Now I am ready to do my blush. So this is the color I'm using. I don't really feel like just a medium color blush is fine, pretty much whatever I've got. This is the Natural High. It's a little pinky, but it's fine for me. It's Bare Minerals. I am not a purist on blush. I've used all kinds of blushes. This is just the one I'm using right now. I don't like anything orangey, so I'm going to go more in the pink scale than the orange scale. So I start back here, right here, and I'm going to create a pretend cheekbone because I just don't have great bone, like cheekbone structure. I don't go in here, kind of have a round face, so I'm going to create my own little cheekbone right here. They don't match. This one's not as dark. Okay, there it is. Yes, it's probably darker than I want, but that's okay. I can blend that out later. There's going to be a layer of powder on top, so it's hard for me to judge my blush at this point, so I'm just going to let it go for now. And one of the ways you can kind of find your cheekbones, if you're like me and it's really hard to find them, is just go, and you see that right there. So I like to highlight the cheekbones, and rather than go in them, I'm just going to go right on top of them and a little below. Okay, blush is done. Now it's time for eyes. I'm going to do liner last so that the powder doesn't get on top of it. So I'm going to do all of my eyeshadow, and the theory of light pushing forward and dark pushing back is going to happen right now. I'm going to take a light color. This one is called Cultured Pearl, and it's just a really light and bright. I don't use super glittery or shiny colors, but a little bit is okay. I know you say older women shouldn't wear frosty colors, but hey, if I've got it, that's probably what I'm going to use. But a little bit of glimmer here is okay. So I'm going to get that on my brush, and I'm going to use the lid to kind of really smush it into my brush. Okay, it's in there. And now I'm going to put it right here on my lid area. So I would call this below the crease. Now, I have hooded eyelids. There really isn't a cure for that except surgery, and I'm not doing that. But you can do a few things to minimize it, and one of them is this. I'm putting a light color here to bring that forward, and then I'm going to put a dark color above my crease, so pushing that in, so it kind of really gives me more of a dimension. So you'll see what you think about that in a minute here. I did a couple of layers of that, so that's done. And now I'm going to do a medium color. This is called Vanilla Sugar, and it's kind of got a tiny bit of a peachy tone to it. That's going to be my medium color, so I would want like something more, not that brush, a different brush. This is an angled brush. I have a collection of little brushes. You can never have too many of those. And this is just going to kind of be a base for everything I'm going to do next. So I'm going to put it above the crease. So I've got below the crease and above the crease. This brush is Angled Eye. Got it from Ipsy a while back. Okay, so now I have a light color here and a medium color here, and now I'm going to work on my crease. And I don't know about you, but it is always difficult for me to find that perfect balance on my crease. This one's called Full Eyeshadow, and it's Eco Tools, and I get these at Walmart in little packs, and they're my favorite brushes because they're super affordable. I can have a ton of them, and they're good. So my two things I like about brushes is, are they soft? Because I want to feel really softness on when I'm applying, and do they shed? I don't like a bunch of hairs on my face when I'm using a brush. So Eco Tools is one of my go-tos, but I have like literally brushes from everywhere. So this one, I was just going to explain where I got that. Now I'm going to take a darker medium. So this was a freebie I got from Estee Lauder, and there's a kind of medium in there, and I'm just going to use that in my crease. This isn't a super angled brush, it's kind of a little tiny bit fluffy, so I'm just going to go right in here. So I've kind of got a backwards C. It's kind of going here and a little bit here, and that's going to push, hopefully push in some of that hood. Can you see a difference? I could go just a little lower. Okay, so it's crease and a little above. So that's my medium color, and now I'm going to do my very darkest color. The one I'm using right now was in a kit. I like to buy my shadows singles, but hey, sometimes they're in a kit and I'm going to use them up. So this one is in a kit that I got from Bare Minerals a while back, and this one's called Wanderlust, but just basically let's call it a dark brown matte. And it's really dark, so you want to be careful with it. So I have a really sharp brush. This is just super pointy. This is my pointiest one right here. So you want a nice pointy one. And I'm just going to really be gentle with it, touching it on so it doesn't go all over my face. So that went in the crease, a little above it, and a little on the side corner. What do you think? I think that really helps with the hooded eyes. Here we go, other side. Now can we match? That's always hard to match the two eyes, whether it's eyeliner or eyeshadow, always hard. I'm happy with that. Now a little bit has fallen down below, so I'm just going to take my powder brush and buff it off. The sponge works good for that too. So now I've got all my color on, and one of the things I like to do is go back with that medium color that I used to do my whole upper above the crease, and I'm just going to blend a little bit before I go to my powder stage. Here we go. A little bit of blending goes a long way. Okay, all my color is on, and now I'm going to powder and set the whole thing. There is just no better powder than Mineral Veil from Bare Minerals. So if I had to give up everything, I'd probably keep these two. Well, I want to keep it all, but I love this powder. I use the original. The illuminating is nice, but it's a little bit shiny, a little bit glittery for me, so I just use the original formula Mineral Veil. Tap your brush. Buff it everywhere. I just love, love, love the powder part. Everything just looks so pretty. I do carry powder in my purse. It's a little compact with a little brush so that I can freshen up during the day, because powder just makes everything look fresh again. All right. Now, at this point, if I feel like anything's too dark, like the blush or whatever, I could take a sponge and smooth it down, or I could take my powder brush and just buff it some more, and that usually works. I'm happy with this. Now I'm going to do the rest of my eyes. So first it's going to be an eyeliner pen. This is an eyeliner pen from Bare Minerals. I've used others, so I don't have a particular preference, except that Bare Minerals has a decent rating for toxicity, so I'm going to use this one. And it's nice, it works, and it lasts all day. And I have super sensitive eyes, so I try to get the cleanest eye makeup I can, and this fits the bill for me. So you shake it to get it kind of into the brush, and it's just this tiny little tip, like a felt tip pen, and you're just going to put this on your eye area. Now let me walk you through this, because it's freaky to me in the beginning, but now I've kind of got it down to a fine science for myself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get it close to my lashes. So I'm just going to touch it, not a line, just kind of touching it. Okay, so that's close to my lashes. Now you would think I would go like this, but my eyes are pretty crepey and loose because I get older, so I'm going to go the other way. So I'm just going to kind of draw my line from the corner back. Now here's where you can get creative. You can go a little farther out and get your little wing. You can make it thicker or thinner. This is kind of medium, and how thick or thin my line is just depends on how I put it on. I like it that thin as possible, but hey, my eyesight's not what it used to be. My skin's a little crepey, so it's going to be what it's going to be, and this is pretty much what I usually end up with. So now I'm going to do the other side, and it will determine the thickness of this line, because if I mess up over here, I got to match it over here. So here goes my other side. This one turned out better. It's a little thinner, but I want them to match, so I'm just going to make this one a little bit thicker. This one kind of got a little tiny tail, so I'm going to make a little tail, and then I'm going to match on both sides. Sometimes I do a little tail, sometimes I try to do a big tail, but I don't have a lot of space there, so it doesn't always look that great. It ends up just looking weird. So I'm just going to do a little tail. So the tail means it comes out a little farther. What do you think? I'm stopping. The more you do, the more it just goes down a crazy road. I don't want to go down that road. Okay, so now I've got my liner. All that I have left is mascara and eyebrows. So I'm going to do the mascara next, because if I want to do a second coat, it could be drying while I do my eyebrows. So this is called Lily Lolo. I've been through a lot of mascaras, and I will say that it's kind of like anything else. People have their favorites, so if you have your favorite, yay. This one I chose because it is it's super non-toxic, it's vegan, it's, you know, it's very, very clean and pure, and it doesn't make my eyes itch. Now I'm going to do the bottoms first. Did you see that? So now, the thing about eyelashes is that they're easy to mess up. So, and you don't want to hold your wand out in the air too long, so I'm going to put it away while I tell you this. So if you want to do the bottom lashes, you want to look up, because then the eyelashes kind of pull away from your face. So you want to hold the mirror up. So that's why I was looking down. I was holding the mirror up. And then if you want to do the top lashes, hold the mirror down and look down so they're not touching your skin right here. Especially if you have hooded eyes like I do. You don't want to have that touching, and making a bunch of mascara marks all over your beautiful eyeshadow that you worked so hard on. So I've done the bottoms and I looked up. Now I'm going to look down and do my top. Done. There's just no rules to this, so I could put a liner underneath my eyes. I just sometimes do and sometimes don't. I'm kind of in the don't for a while now, but that can change, and so it's choice. If I wanted to do a bottom liner, I would probably just go a little bit or halfway and then smudge it the rest of the way so that it was thicker here and thinner here. But I'm not having a bottom liner right now. That's just the look that I like, so it's only on the top. So there's my mascara. Now let's do eyebrows. You know, they say that the eyes are the windows to your soul and the eyebrows are the frame. So let's frame them. I was just born with not very thick eyebrows, so I have to fill them in or I would just basically have very little here. So I'm just going to basically kind of go on the top, and then I'm going to go on the bottom, and then I'm going to fill it in. And I'm using Estee Lauder Automatic Brow Pencil Duo. I have a lot of favorites on this. I've done the powders, I've done the all kinds of pencils. This is just the one I'm using right now, and it has refills, so it's super easy to keep going and getting more. Okay, it's penciled, and then I like to brush it. I just use an eyebrow brush. This one is just, I used a toothbrush once when I was traveling. What a difference, right? One done, one not done. It's just, I just love having eyebrows done. So if you don't do your eyebrows, don't skip that. It's important. What a difference. Okay, gonna match that up. One thing I will tell you is using little hair-like strokes is like creating hair. I actually had a makeover for a photography session with someone who just didn't have any eyebrows, so I just did little hair drawings. And then I brushed that, and it looked really good. So if you have a bald spot or a little spot, just draw some little hairs with a nice sharp pencil. These don't sharpen, but get one that does, and then just draw in some little hairs. Just a little tip for you. I don't like it to look like a line, so I try to check that top part right there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Just gonna do a little powder here. What's left? Lips. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips now, but normally I would do them as I'm leaving or as I'm in my car. But I wanna have a finished look for you today, so I'm gonna do that now. I like to have a liner and then a lip product on top of that. This liner is Wet n Wild. It is called Never Petal Down, so it's pink. That's my lip liner. I always put my lip liner on my whole lips. I don't want my lipstick to wear off and have a line on the outside. Plus sometimes I don't even put lipstick on top. I just wear the lip liner. So sometimes it's just nice because it stays and stays and stays, and it doesn't come off on your coffee cup and things like that. But this is a Bare Minerals lip product. I don't really know what to say this is. Matte Luxe. That must be the color. And it's one of those long-lasting lip products. It's kind of a light pink. I have a darker pink that I like too, and then you can have a whole variety of colors, and they don't always have to match your lip liner. Just make sure that you're covering it, and it's kind of fun actually to experiment with the different changes. And then, you know, this is a long lasting, so it will dry a little bit. So as it's drying, I just kind of try to keep my mouth apart and then check my teeth. Made it! So I'm finished. Now I'm going to fix my hair and get dressed and be ready for my day. I'll be back. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that I was able to help in some way and teach you something new. And please stop by and watch my next video. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Bye now.